Okay, we are gonna start. Yes, okay, oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, come to the middle of your mat. You're gonna begin seated and take a Sukhasana pose, one ankle in front of the other. And then allow your eyes to drift close or just loosen your grip on your focus and just rock a little bit from side to side, front and back. Noticing how very likely you've got a little bit more weight into one sit bone than the other. And it's not bad. Usually has something to do with the cross of your legs. Just notice and then find that space that's right in the center. And then once maybe twice on an inhale, reach your shoulders up towards your ears. And then on an exhale, let them drift down behind you, finding more spaciousness. Draw in your floating ribs. You're lifting up more to the crown of your head on an inhale, and on an exhale, you're rounding down more. Notice if you're holding onto your hips, your thighs, let them release. Find a little bit of space. Let's take just a few moments here simply to breathe. On an inhale, feel as though everything is expanding outward from the center and you're growing. And on your exhales, everything comes in concentric circles. Several more breaths like that. On your exhales, finding more softness through your thighs, your arms, your face. And then set a dedication for this practice. Maybe something that you're looking forward to from this day for the rest of the year. And as a community, we're going to seal these dedications. So press your palms together, Anshi Mudra, thumb to your sternum. Take a very deep breath in so that your chest is breathing into your thumbs, reaching your heart closer to your thumbs. Exhale, release. Again, deep breath in, draw on everything that supports this dedication. Exhale, release into the world. And then once more for yourself. And then blink your eyes open. We're going to start with a few seated twists. Inhale, reach arms out and up. On an exhale, twist to your left, right hand to the top of your left knee, left fingertips behind you. Stay here for one full inhale and exhale. Shift the weight a little bit more to your right hip. Gaze back to front. Inhale, lift up. Twist to the opposite side. Fingertips to offer you some resistance. Full inhale and exhale here. And then inhale, come back to center, arms lift up. Press your palms together, and on an exhale, bring your thumbs to your sternum, send your eye gaze in line with your thumbs, so eventually you're looking down, lifting up through the back. And then take your hands down to your knees, switch out the cross of your legs, a couple seated cow and cat. Inhale, heart comes forward, lean forward, gaze up, lean back, arch your spine, look down towards your ankles. Inhale, carry it forward again. Exhale, rock it back. Once more like that. Come up to seat, bend your knees. We're gonna come into Navasana. Just do a little bit of core work. This will prep us. Arms alongside your body. You can feel free to stay right here, or if you'd like to move with me, doing Ardha Navasana. Inhale, straighten your legs, hover your heels, lean back, hover your back. Exhale, pull your knees to your chest. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. One more time like this. Okay, this time come down to your Ardha. Hands together, interlace fingers, release your index. We're gonna kind of take like an on your back crow pose. So pull your knees to your left, arms to the right so that your tricep is the outside of your thigh. Inhale, come to Ardha Navasana. Exhale, twist to the other side, knees to the right, arms to the left. Inhale, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, arms to the right. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, arms to the left. Once more on either side. And then just bend your knees, hands to the backs of your thighs, and roll onto your back completely. We're gonna take a little bit of an eagle crunch here. So cross your right thigh over your left like you're sitting in a chair. Maybe you even wrap it so that you're pressing your foot into the back of your left calf. Wrap your right elbow under the other, once or twice, press palms together. Lift up Make sure that your knees, or your shins rather, are about parallel with the earth. Reach your hands away from you, reach your legs away from you. And then on an exhale, start to bring your elbows and knees toward each other. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in. Unravel your arms, unravel your legs, set them down, and this time, left thigh over, sitting like you're sitting in a chair. And then cross. Then left elbow on the bottom, wrapping once or wrapping twice. Lift up your shins, lift up your forearms. Everything is about parallel with the mat. Then reach them away from each other. On an exhale, pull your elbows to your knees. You're going to lift up your upper back. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale up. Exhale, pull in. And then just once more for good measure. All right, unravel, uncross. Pull your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg out. We're going to take a gentle twist for a few breaths. Bring your knee across your body, right arm out to the side for a counterbalance. If you're looking for a little bit more, place your left hand on top of your right thigh, gently guiding the knee down. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center. Switch it out. Left knee pulls in, and then twist to the right. And then take it right back up. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Rock up and down the length of your spine. And then you're going to see if you can get enough momentum that you come all the way to a forward fold at the top of your mat, maybe without using your hands. And then separate your feet about hip width distance apart. We're going to do a few halfway lifts. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins or your mat. Gaze forward, find lots of length. Exhale, chest to thighs. Again, inhale, lengthen out. Press your feet down and away from each other. You can feel this activation in your outer hips. Exhale, fold. One more time like that. Inhale, lift out. And exhale, fold. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up toward the ceiling. And on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. And then arms alongside your body. We're going to take a sun salutation A to greet today. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale, fold, honor yourself, step back to the top of your plank pose. On an exhale, lower through chaturanga. Untuck toes, inhale. Back bend, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift up and back. Downward facing dog, maybe this first one of the day, maybe the first one of your year. Press your inner thighs back, spread your fingertips really wide. Space between shoulders and ears. Inhale, bend knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or float to the top, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, keep the length, fold. Press through your feet, reverse swan dive, come up all the way to standing. And on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Arms alongside your body. Stay in this Tadasana pose for 3 breaths. When you're ready, inhale, take your arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold, take up lots of space. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Flow through your vinyasa as you're ready. Once back in your downward facing dog, take several breaths. Continue pressing your inner thighs back away from you. Your heels drifting down toward the mat. On your next inhale, rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose. On an exhale, lower through chaturanga. Untuck toes for your back bend. Exhale, lift it up and back to downward facing dog. Take that twice more. Inhale carries you forward, top of plank. Lower through chaturanga. Back bend. Downward facing dog. And then one more vinyasa like that. Your breath, your time. Inhale, right leg up toward the ceiling. Bend your knee, open up through your hips. Make sure your right shoulder is dropped. Inhale to re-straighten. Exhale, take your knee to your right elbow, shift it forward. Keep your inner elbows pressing forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, take your knee to your right elbow again. This time, start to draw your knee down to your wrist. Back up to your elbow, down to your wrist, up to your elbow, down to your wrist, up to your elbow, and then up and back to the tripod dog once again. This time on your exhale, take your knee to your nose, place your foot between your hands toward the right thumb. Drop the left knee down. Inhale your arms up for your Anjaneyasana posture. Take your right thumb to your right hip crease. Arc over to the right. You should feel a pretty deep stretch here. And then on an exhale, continue that twist. Your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Right palm into the other. Or you could keep it towards your hip. Low lunge twist. Send your gaze back down toward the mat. Place your hands on either side of your foot. Pull your left heel up towards your bum. Reach your right arm up and back. And then using passive range of motion, you're going to clasp your foot, send your hips back toward that heel, and then re-bend, getting a quad stretch. And if you'd like, you can come down onto your left forearm, if this works for you, and maybe start to stack right shoulder over left. All right, release that foot, come up onto the left hand if you took that forearm drop. Tuck your back toes, lift up your back knee, and then pull your right heel in towards your bum. You're gonna shoot it all the way back up to that tripod dog. Awesome. Bend your knee once again, and this time just take a little bit of movement in your hips. You're gonna draw a huge circle with your knee, first drawing down toward the mat, then up toward the ceiling, all the way around, and then take it in the other direction. And then drop your foot next to the other. When you're ready, inhale, left leg comes up and back, long, straight, strong. On an exhale, take your knee to your left elbow. Lift it up toward the ceiling, again, tripod. Exhale, take your knee to your left elbow once again. Drop down to wrist, up to elbow. Down to wrist, up to elbow. Down to wrist, up to elbow. Strike it back, tripod dog. This time on an exhale, pull your knee to your nose, place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. Drop right knee, arms lift up, Anjaneyasana, one breath here. Then left hand to left hip crease, arc over to the left. And then on an exhale, continue that cycle all the way around. Right elbow to the outside of thigh. You can keep your left hand where it is, or press palms together for a low lunge twist. Keep your left hip gently drawing back. Then look down toward your front foot. Take your hands down to the mat. You're going to send your right heel to your bum, cycle your left arm up and back. So again, you're finding that clasps in your hips back to your heels. Make the heel to bum connection, and then rebend into the front knee. Option to come onto the right forearm if you'd like. Left shoulder stacked over the right. Again, notice if you're starting to arc near your back. Find a little bit more Tadasana instead. All right, release the foot, come back up onto your hand if you took the forearm option. Up that back knee, so you're in a low lunge. Pull your left heel to your bum, strike it all the way back up. Tripod dog. Bend your knee, make huge circles, drawing first towards your belly with your knee, then up toward the ceiling, and then in the other direction. All right, back to down dog when you're ready. Inhale, right leg up toward the ceiling. On an exhale, pull your knee to your chest, place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. Hover your fingertips away from the mat, and then inhale, lift all the way up. First high crescent lunge. We're gonna take a couple open arm twists here. So inhale, lift up slightly. Exhale, twist to the right, rebend into the right knee. Right arm comes behind you, left fingertips in front, thumbs are up. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, deepen that twist. Third time like that. Deepen the twist toward the right. Then drop your right hand toward the thigh, lift up your left fingertips. Take your hands back up toward the ceiling, regular high crescent lunge. And then you're going to shift your weight forward, right hip comes back. We're gonna move to a warrior three pose. So whenever you're ready, maybe one step or several, your left leg will lift, arms out in front of you, or another variation. If you're like me, your hands just hit a wall. And then exhale, forward fold, top of mat, place the left foot next to the other. 2 halfway lifts, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Once more like that, and fold. Come to standing, take up lots of space. Exhale, bring it home, thumbs to your heart center. Stay here in your Samastiti, or back to Tadasana, 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, flow your way back to downward facing dog. My recommendation is to do a half sun salutation A. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts up and back. Even lift up onto your right toes for more exaggerated lift. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. Hover your hands away from the mat first. Ground down through your feet. Lift all the way up. First high lunge on this side. Really pull your left hip back and then spike up through your inner right thigh. All right, inhale, lift up slightly, get out of your own way. Exhale, open arm twist to the left, thumbs are up. Breathe deep in the bend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open. Inhale, take it up to center. Final time, open arm twist. Drop your left hand toward the right thigh. Lift up your right fingertips. Okay, take it back to center, your high lunge. Find a little bit of momentum, moving into the warrior three. Once again, shift your weight forward, reach forward. Eventually your right leg will lift. Take a different variation with your hands if you would like. Keep your right thigh dropped as your left lifts up. And then exhale, hand down, foot down. Ragdoll pose, 2 breaths. When you're ready, breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, take your arms up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, take it home. Thumbs to heart, or arms alongside your body. 3 breaths here in your Tadasana or Samasthiti. And then with your eyes opened or closed, we're going to take it back to down dog. Feel free to ignore the sound of my voice if you prefer something else. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, flat back as you come forward. Release your fingertips, inhale, halfway lift, fingertips connect with something. Exhale, fold, step it back to plank or hop to chaturanga. Exhale, lower through your chaturanga, elbows grazing in. Untuck toes, inhale for your back bend. Exhale, take it up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale, right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward your right thumb. Have your fingertips away from the mat. Lift all the way up, high crescent lunge. On an exhale, open up, warrior 2. Sit low. Shrug your shoulders down and away from each other. Rough your ears, that is. Flip your right palm up, left hand comes down to the thigh. Exalted warrior, take it up and back. Exhale, back to warrior 2. And we're gonna move to an extended side angle. So shoot your heart forward, right forearm to the top of your right thigh, or you can take your hand down to the mat. Left fingertips straight up toward the ceiling. Or to take this even further, drop your right hand out in front of you, perpendicular. Angle your pinky down, and then sweep your arm toward the front of the room. Bicep over your ear. Just breathe here. Rotate to your right rib cage upward. Keep dropping through the right thigh. All right, take it back to warrior 2. Flip your right palm, exalted warrior. And then back to warrior 2 once again. Sweep your left arm to the front of the room, pivot on the ball of your back foot. So you're in a high crescent lunge. Take your hands to your heart center. Lean forward, right hip drawing back. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, twist left elbow to the outside of right thigh. Pressure palms together. Start to bring your thumbs toward the center of your sternum. Prayer twist. Every inhale, you grow taller. Every exhale, twist a little bit more. Then look down towards your front foot. We're gonna step left foot forward to match the other into a chair twist. So a little bit of momentum, one step or several, toes to touch, knees to touch. Make sure your left knee is drawing back, it's not creeping forward. Maybe look beyond your right shoulder. And then look down toward the mat, unravel, forward fold, let it go. Separate your feet out just a bit. And then bend your knees really generously. Flip your hands so that your palms are facing up, the backs of your hands on the mat. You're gonna step onto your hands so that your toes are touching the insides of your elbows. Shift the weight forward so you're really gripping down into the palms of your hands with your toes. Look forward, exhale, forward fold. Maybe your elbows come out to the side. Notice if your shoulders starting to crunch up on your neck. Just breathe. Inhale, halfway lift. Stand out for your hands. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to downward facing dog. You can take a vinyasa if you'd like, or skip it and just make it back to your down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you're ready, on an inhale, left leg comes up and back. Long, straight, strong. Lift up onto your right toes. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. Press through both feet. Inhale, lift all the way up. High lunge. Sit low, shoulders moving away. Again, when you're ready, on an exhale, you're going to open up to warrior two. Get low. Shine your biceps up toward the ceiling, even though your palms are facing down. Left palm comes up, exalted warrior. Back to warrior two, and we move to an extended side angle. So really take advantage of this. Reach forward, find lots of length to the left side of your rib cage, left forearm to your thigh or all the way to the mat. And then choose maybe the same thing you did on the first side with your right arm straight up or sweeping toward the front of the room. Really press down through the outer right foot. Give yourself all the stability, and wherever your left hand or fingertips are, make them active and strong. All right, when you're ready, on an exhale, press back to warrior two. Right hand drops, exalted warrior once again. We're moving back through the flow we just did. Back to warrior two. Sweep your right arm toward the front of the room, pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Back to that high lunge where we began. Then take your hands to heart center. Lean forward, keep your left hip drawing back. This will also facilitate that tilting. Lengthen, exhale, twist. Right elbow to the outside of left thigh. Palms pressed together. Really find a deep twist here. Maybe even lean back slightly. Yeah. All right, look down to your left toes. Make it fun. Right toes are gonna touch the left. You're gonna come forward to a chair twist. Move when you're ready. Couple steps is fine. Right knee is drawing back in line with the left. Look beyond your left shoulder. Then look down back to your toes. Unravel, take your hands down, separate your feet slightly. Ragdoll pose, 2 breaths. This time, you're gonna take your peace fingers or your thumbs, wrap them around your big toes. So you might need to bend your knees pretty deeply to make this happen. Totally fine. Once you've got that grip, inhale, lift out halfway like you normally would in the Ardha Uttanasana. On an exhale, start to bring your chest towards your thighs. Keep the grip on your toes. This might mean that your elbows go out to the side or straight behind you so that your forearms are touching your calves. This is up to you. Just make sure you've got lots of space. Again, shift the weight forward. Don't send all your weight to your heels. Share the weight of your body between your feet. Try to find some equanimity here. Really use the grip of your fingers to assist here and your core strength, which we were working on earlier. And then drop your fingertips, release that grip. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, chest to thighs. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up toward the ceiling. And on an exhale, take your hands in toward your heart. Stay here for 2 long breaths. And then we're going to flow back to downward facing dog. Feel free to move to your own rhythm. If you prefer not to listen to my voice, if you'd like guidance, I will provide it. Inhale, arms lift, send your nose and chin up toward the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart outward. Exhale, fold to honor yourself, step back to the top of a plank pose. On an exhale, lower through chaturanga. Untuck toes, inhale for a back bend. If you're taking an upward facing dog, try to reach your thighs away from the mat. And then exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Simply breathe. Recognize what's happening in your body and what's happening in your thoughts. Allow yourself to be a witness here. Just to witness, not to ascribe good or bad to anything. Just see what's going on. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, and then walk your hands closer to each other so that your thumbs are touching. You still have your fingertips spread really wide like downward facing dog. Still wrap your inner elbows forward. And this tends to help when your knees are bent like this. You're gonna find a little bit of momentum. You're going to hop forwards to Malasana pose. So your hands and feet, hands are gonna be on the feet, on the outsides of your hands. So move whenever you're ready. If you wanna take 2 steps, or again, inner elbows forward. Look beyond your yoga mat. Exhale, hop. Toes out, heels in. Start to sit your hips low. Press your palms together. Lift up. And then we're going to play with crow pose, because here we go. So start to take your hands down to the mat. Start to lift your hips up. So it's that same activity. Elbows back, inner elbows forward, fingertips spread wide. Start to walk your toes toward each other a little bit. Lift up high in your heels, bend your knees, elbows back like chaturanga. Send your gaze forward, long spine. Attempt not to look straight down or to crane out. Shift the knees to the upper arms, lean forward. Use your anatomy, trust your skeleton. Lift up one foot then the other, and then maybe tap your toes together and start to reach your toes towards your bum. And when you're ready, come back down to that Malasana squat. Sit low. Stay here for 3 breaths. One more time, hands come down, move to your crow pose, elbows back, lean forward, one foot and the other. Maybe toes to tap, maybe reach your toes towards your bum. And then on an exhale, rock it back, Malasana pose. And then keeping hands at heart center, you're going to press through your feet, straighten your legs, come up all the way to standing. Walk your feet back so that your hips are distance apart or toes to touch. Arms alongside your body. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then make your way back to downward facing dog through a vinyasa or not. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, and then once again, you're going to just hop to a seat in the middle of your mat. And we're going to play with Gomukhasana. So come onto your knees. I find this to be the easiest way to get to this pose. If you've got another way that works better for you, then do it. So lean forward enough, cross your right knee behind the other, and then separate your feet so that you can have a place for your bum to rest back, and then just simply shift back. You're going to have one knee on top of the other. Some people prefer to start seated and then cross over. So if this entrance point is not the best for you, then I invite you to do what works best for you. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling, high five, then flip your hand around, pat yourself on the back. So much positivity. Reach your right arm out, thumb down, and then swing it down. So you're angling at your shoulder, elbow, and wrist. You're either going to grasp your shirt or wiggle your fingertips toward each other until you grip. Point your left elbow up, your right elbow down. Breathe here. And then if you'd like to deepen it further, with a flat spine, start to hinge your way forward. So you're still reaching like your left elbow kind of beyond the crown of your head. So whichever direction the crown of your head is facing, you want your left elbow to do the same. They're working in tandem. When you're ready, start to lift your way up. Uncross, release the grip, cycle your arm around. Release the left one, cycle it around. Nice, come over onto your hands and knees. Uncross. Maybe find a little cow and cat here. And then after your next cat pose, if you're ready, come back to your traditional tabletop pose. And we're going to move to the Gomukhasana. So take your right knee more to the center of your body, cross your left knee behind it, ankles, feet out to the side, and then start to sit your way back. And generally, your knees are stacked on top of each other. Bodies are different. Bodies like to change. Doesn't always happen that way, but that's what we're working for. So now we work our arms up. Right hand's up, high five, flip the palm, tap yourself on the back. Left arm is out, thumb is down. Sweep it around, grasp your shirt, or work maybe a strap, or take your fingertips toward each other. Right elbow is up, left elbow is down. Lots of length. Really pull your fingertips apart from each other. So you've got this, you're creating some tension here. And then if you'd like, on an exhale, you're going to start to shift your way forward. Again, your right elbow is shooting up in the same direction as the crown of your head. When you're ready, lift your way up. Unravel the top arm, the right arm, take it all the way around, and exhale as well. Left arm comes all the way around. Unravel. Lean forward onto your hands and knees. So you can uncross your knees, come back to the tabletop pose. Take a few cow and cats. And then we're going to take a little bit more of a dramatic cow and cat pose. We're going to take that cow-cat flow, so make sure your shins are parallel to each other. I like to have my toes untucked, but if tucked is better for you, then you can make that choice. Send your hips back to your heels in a modified child's pose. Inhale, rise to your knees, palms lift up. Exhale, bow, modified child's. Inhale, keep your heart low, come forward to a cow pose, belly's down, hips and heart are up. Exhale, press up into cat, shift your hips back towards your heels, modified child's. Again, inhale, rise to your knees. Exhale, bow. Inhale, keep your heart low but open to your cow pose. Exhale, press up to cat. And then send your hips back to your heels. This time, maybe taking a child's pose with your toes together, knees slightly widened, or perhaps you prefer your knees together. Drop your head and make sure your head is on something, whether it's the mat, stacked palms, or stacked fists. Take 3 more breaths here. Reach your arms way, way, way far in front of you. And then lift your hips up. Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose. And then come to your forearms for a forearm plank. If it's comfortable for your forearms to be parallel to each other, then stay right there. If that's not working for your shoulders, then you can clasp your fingertips in front of you and create this diamond. Press down through your forearms regardless of what's going on, and start to walk your feet in closer to you, coming to a dolphin pose. Maybe once you get to where you're going, you notice that you could tiptoe 2 centimeters closer. Just breathe, tilt your hips up toward the ceiling. And then start to walk your feet back, coming back to that plank pose. Draw your low belly in. And then once again, tiptoe your feet in, coming to your dolphin pose. Maybe notice you can come in the tiniest bit closer. And walk it back out to your forearm plank. Drop your knees, send your hips back to your heels, your child's pose, 3 breaths. After your 3rd breath, lift up, slither all the way forward onto your belly. And we're going to take a belly down back bend. We're going to take a locust pose. Reach your arms back behind you. Lift up one leg, lengthen it out. Lift up the other leg, lengthen it out. Maybe even zip your legs up together. This is an option, not a requirement. I mean, really every single thing you're doing is an option. Chin forward, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingertips. Bring the heels of your hands together. Shrug your shoulders up and back. Extend your knuckles behind you. Maybe your arms come straight. Let that pull up your shoulders away from your mat. Point your toes so much that they lift up and away. Locust pose. Maybe you can even work to lift your thighs away from the mat. Slight tension to your bum. Breathe. And then exhale, release it all the way back down. Flip over onto your back, just like a pancake. Pull your right knee into your chest. And drop your knee to the left. Supine twist, very gentle, send your gaze to the right. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center. Right leg comes out. Pull your left knee in. And draw your knee across your body. Supine twist, gaze to the left. And then take both head and knee back to center. Give yourself a warm embrace. Pull your knees towards you. Wrap your arms around your shins, your thighs. Bring your forehead up towards your knees. And then on an exhale, find your Shavasana. Extend your legs out in front of you, arms alongside your body. Take a few moments to find some stillness. And begin to release the physical activity of your feet, your legs, your knees, your thighs, your belly. Let your chest become soft. Let your shoulders just fall away from you, finding more relaxation. Allow your bottom jaw to separate from the top jaw and your tongue to drop and move through your mouth, your eyes to close and become very heavy, and allow your forehead to be smooth and simply be. Let your thoughts drift back to the dedication sent. That's your intention. And as your breath becomes larger, breathing in that intention and exhaling it, just letting it go. And let that breath inform some small movements in your extremities. Let those grow larger until eventually roll over onto your right side. Pulling your knees a little closer into you, perhaps using your arm as a pillow. Recognizing this transition. And with your eyes closed, best you can, make your way to a seated posture for a very brief reflection and meditation. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up, palms to press above you. And on an exhale, take your thumbs to center between your eyebrows for clarity of thought. Down to your lips for clarity of speech. And then down to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart, the symbol of honor, of gratitude, and humility. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with me. Jordan, thank you for sharing your birthday with me. I am eternally grateful. In the name of the highest good, namaste.
Namaste.